BizWatch Nigeria TV News Briefs. Here are the highlights for today. International Monetary Fund predicts 7.3% GDP growth, lower inflation for Nigeria in 2014. Market equity withdrawals as losers outgain gainers. First Bank Nigeria Money Market Fund records 20 billion naira in 2 years. Dangote Cement to produce over 10 million tons in sub-Saharan Africa by 2016. MTN's revenue beats Dangote's record in capital markets. International Monetary Fund advises federal government to tackle oil theft. My name is Lola Day.
And I am Folake. IMF predicts 7.3% GDP growth, lower inflation for Nigeria in 2014. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has predicted that Nigeria's economy is set to grow 7.3% this year, up from 6.4% in 2013. According to the IMF report released on Friday, Nigeria's growth this year will be driven by sectors outside its dominant energy industry, while inflation will continue its downward path. This is a more optimistic outlook than the 6.75% growth the Coordinating Minister for the Economy and Minister of Finance, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, had projected.
Market equity withdrawals as losers outweigh gainers. Trading activities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange last week pulled back as the number of losers on the bourse was higher than that of gainers. At the end of the week trading, summary of prices changes showed that 32 equities appreciated in prices during the week, lower than 51 equities of the preceding week. On the other hand, 54 equities depreciated in prices, higher than 26 equities of the preceding week, while 112 equities remained unchanged, lower than 121 equities in the previous week. Fort Oil PLC led gainers on the table with 15 naira 60 kobo gain to close at 104 naira, followed by IPWA PLC with 0 naira 7 kobo gain to close at 0 naira 59 kobo, and Chance PLC with 0 naira 6 kobo gain to close at 0 naira 56 kobo.
First Bank Nigeria Money Market Fund records 20 billion naira in 2 years. The First Bank Nigeria Money Market Fund has recorded over 20 billion naira in assets under its management less than 2 years after it was launched. The fund, managed by the First Bank Nigeria Capital Asset Management, is an open-ended mutual fund that invests in a broad range of money market securities such as treasury bills and commercial papers, and aims to offer a high level of security coupled with a competitive yield. The company, in a statement, said based on the figure reported as at 6th of March 2014, the fund is currently yielding 11.69%, which is much higher returns than customers would receive in a regular savings account.
Dangote Cement will produce over 10 million tons in sub-Saharan Africa by 2016. Dangote Group will be the largest producer of cement in sub-Saharan Africa in 2014, the group's president, Aliko Dangote, has said. Dangote also indicated that the company's portfolio will be more focused going forward. He said the company will have refineries with a petrochemical complex which will produce oil from not only Nigeria but for the West African region and some of the Central African area.
MTN's revenue beats Dangote's record in capital markets. South African telecommunications group MTN has trumped the record of Dangote Cement, the largest company listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, which controls 70% of the fast-growing domestic cement market. The telecommunications firm pushed down Dangote Cement 9-month revenues of 228.98 billion naira and projected full-year 2013 revenues of 364.11 billion naira, with its full-year revenue of 793.6 billion naira for its Nigerian operations. This recent development is a clear indication that telecommunication firms are thriving in the Nigerian economy.
International Monetary Fund advises federal government to tackle oil theft. The federal government has been advised by the International Monetary Fund (IMF) to take strong action against oil theft and production losses. The International Monetary Fund also advised the government to strengthen Nigerian oil industry regulatory framework by passing a sound petroleum industry bill with enhanced oversight and transparency provisions. It said that the framework for anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism could support these efforts. The International Monetary Fund, in its review of the Nigerian economy, in its Article 6, 2014, released the weekend, urged the government to also highlight the need to improve oil revenue management by completing the transition from the excess crude oil account to the sovereign wealth fund.
That will be all for today.